What is something someone said to you that made your brain hurt because it was so stupid? Roommate's girlfriend in college had a better fish. Her. Puts fish bowl in microwave. Roommate. Stares at her for a moment. What are you doing? Her. I'm cleaning the water. Silence. Roommate. You know, you may want to take the fish out of the bowl before you do that. Her. But why, it'll clean them both. SMH. Lesson. Just because someone went to college, it doesn't mean they're smart. I was writing a title in Spanish and one of my classmates goes, "Whoa, are you sure that's Spanish? The letters look just like English letters." Exclamation point, not in our accents. Shortly after Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 was shot down in Ukraine, I was out to dinner with my cousin. In that time she brought up the topic and said to me, "I am sad that the plane was shot down, but it's good that we finally found it. I didn't know planes could stay in the air so long." She thought that the Malaysia Airlines flight that got lost in March was the same plane that got shot down in July, and it had just been flying around since then. Being stuck on an airplane for months, the nightmare. I made the mistake of telling a dream I had to a few of my friends. My fiance's roommate's friend, who was there at the time, interpreted the dream to mean my fiancé and I should call off the wedding, and attempted to get our circle of friends together for an intervention to tell us we shouldn't get married. The dream was that I joined the band Maroon 5 as a clarinet player, but I couldn't find a reed. Okay, so Maroon 5 represents your relationship. Your joining it as a clarinet player signifies a change in creative direction for the band and therefore your relationship. This is marriage. However, you can't find a reed, a pretty necessary and basic bit of kit required for good clarinet playing. Your inability to find a reed will doom the marriage. When I worked at a Best Buy, back in the 90s, a lady wanted a certain software program. I asked if she had Windows or a Mac and she said a Mac. I told her we didn't have it for that. She found it for a PC and threw it in my face that I was dumb and couldn't find it for her. I said, "Yes, but you said you have a Mac, and that is for a PC. Windows." She flourished the box in my face and said, "It's a CD. IT will fit in any computer." I said, "You're right," and just walked away. This one time I said something really stupid that mind fricked the other person into becoming equally as stupid. I was playing Scrabble, and the board was upside down. The person across from me spelled EYS, and I said, "You can't spell ES. That's not a word." They looked at it for a few seconds, agreed, then took it off the board. I won. I was playing Scrabble with my husband and I asked if one was a word, like wonton soup. That game will mess up your head if you play too long. I dated a girl that insisted scientists teleported stuff all the time. The only reason we didn't teleport living things was that they reverted to their baby state and had no memories. Engineers can actually teleport things but never ever teleport bread. I host bar trivia. I was reading out answers, one of which required the answer to be rounded to the nearest whole number. Then this lady starts arguing with me that 3 isn't a whole number. After a few rounds of me telling her how wrong she wasn't letting up. So I had the entire bar tell her that 3 was indeed a whole number. She shut the frick up for the rest of the night. She's also school teacher headask. How odd. Got a phone call once that went like this. Them. "Hi, is this Marcos?" Me. "No, it's Slonk. I think you have the wrong number." Them. "Well, if I have the wrong number, why did you pick up, I'm idiot?" Slam. I had a similar conversation once. The person called me at 5 AM and started yelling at me. I can't remember the name he was calling me, but it wasn't me. I tried explaining that he had the wrong number, but he insisted that he had called the right house and it didn't matter what number he called because it was the right house. He called my cell phone. A woman brought back a laptop to run as it wasn't working. It was full of water. Ain't been no water around that computer. It must have come from the electrical cord you gave me. In high school, a girl asked why people in the mid-1800s didn't just drive instead of slower modes of transportation. Teacher: people didn't have them back then. Dumbass: oh, then why didn't they take a bus? Teacher: here, students love to troll. Astronomy 101. Girl who often talked to hear the sound of her own voice asked, does the sun shine in just one direction? And does it happen to be on Earth all the time like a freaking lighthouse? 8th grade history class. Teacher mentions the Civil War. Girl raises her hand and asks, wait, who won the Civil War, the Dominicans or the Republicans? The teacher looked at her for a few seconds with the most disappointed expression I have ever seen before just carrying on with the class. It was a tar. That's why it is called Dominican Republic. My dingbat sister-in-law was changing her daughter's diaper, who kept trying to get up before the job was finished. My sister-in-law said, I don't want to push her back down because what if she grows up and is raped in college? She might have flashbacks that it's okay to be pushed back because she'll remember I did it to her as a baby. My brother was standing right there, heard the whole thing, and still knocked her up a second time. Oh god, I missed the in-law part. On the phone with a co-worker outstationed at another office. Yeah, I'm all out of paper for the copier. Can you fax me some? Double quote. Me. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Wait, what? Double quote. I was sat sitting here thinking just fax some blank sheets FFS. Frick this, I'm outta here. I was moving with my ex once and had to move a plasma TV and a smaller tube TV. The tube TV was easily £100 while the plasma was roughly 20. When I told my ex to get the plasma because it weighed less, she responded with, I'm not falling for that, the plasma weighs way more. It has so many more channels. I was in the car with my sister and one of her friends once, and we drove past a marsh with a bunch of cattail plants in it. My sister said, look, cattails. Did you know Native American women used to use them as tampons? Her friend said gross, then was quiet for 2 minutes, then said God, you'd have to catch a lot of cats. I'd really love to read a short story about her thought processes during those 2 minutes. There's this stoner that could have sworn he was some all-knowing scientist and the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama. He got his get in high school cause he couldn't stand being so smart around his peers. That's not my answer. My answer is when he posted on Facebook that, hey guys, I learned how to reach an orgasm simply by only using my brain power. I learned it in 1 minute, and it is great. Also, while I'm here, a day later or two he posted, if any of you want help quitting any smoking or drinking, come to me. I'm starting a rehab service where I can cure you in a day. It's all in the mind, guys. That's why I drink and smoke every day. Cause I can control it to not affect me. HMU. This guy sounds like a mega dash. My fiance hates it when I touch his nose, which is fine. But what is not fine is that he is adamant that he has a stiff sensitive nose because he didn't play with it as a child. What? It's dangerous to play with it. My uncle still has my nose. A 5-minute rant about how she would never drink Coca-Cola because of their exploitational practices in Latin America, immediately after offering me a line of C. Till C causes people to go on nonsensical rants. Wait, I already knew that. A co-worker, one who I am not very close with, was talking to me about a project. Then she just said, why do you squint your eyes so much? Do you need glasses? I said, I am Japanese. She was deadpan serious. Back in college, I was doing a group project. At one of our meetings, I guess I was kinda quiet for a while, and just sitting back in the chairs. They were more like sofa chairs. Super comfy, when one of my group mates go, "Amagadwa doing this. Wake up," to which I replied, I'm not asleep, I'm Asian. This one isn't as face-palmingly dumb as some of the others, but a little thought really brought to light how stupid it was. We were at Longhorn, I think, maybe Outback, and we were waiting on a table, and so was this other guy, dressed in a suit, talking on the phone on a business call. A couple walked in, walks up to the hostess, gives her their name, and she takes them to their table. They had called ahead, duh. Well, the other guy waiting for a table completely flies off the handle. Why the frick did they get seated before I did? Well, they called ahead, so if I go outside and call, you'll go ahead and give me a table? No, you would have had to call an hour ago like they did. Well, how the frick was I supposed to know to do that? You could see the hostess's wheels slowly turning as she realizes that this man, dressed in a business suit who's been on a business call for the last 10 minutes talking about contracts and stuff, had no idea what calling ahead at a restaurant means. He finally stormed out, still cursing. We just looked at her with the most shocked look on our faces. Then they gave us a free dessert for having to listen to his temper tantrum. Try getting a reservation at Georgia now. A person I work with is full of comments that make my head hurt. We should take back our land. We were here before the Indians. Putin is following exactly what the Bible said he would do. There are hundreds of them. To be fair, we were here before Indians. Native Americans, however. I once got one of those deep wisdom forward emails saying something like, which one is greater, sun or moon? The answer is the moon, because sun shines in the day when there is already light available, but moon shines in the night when there is no light. The most downright moronic thing on so many levels. I felt like being hit on the head with a giant hammer. To this day, I rage when I think of the person who made it. MOON. That spells headache. Stupid person. Rabbits die in the snow. They drown. Me. They what? SP. Drown. Me. Why would you say that? SP. They drink through their fur. So when they are covered in snow they can't help but drown. Me. No they don't. Look at the rabbits. They are fine. SP. No. They are dead. Rabbits continue to hop around in the snow. No. They are dead. I freaking lost it. 18 years old at the time. Sister. Can you get pregnant from a blowjob? Dad. Are you serious right now? Sister. Like if you swallow the sperm. Dad. Number. You can't get pregnant from your stomach. Actually yes. You can. Mouth. Number. You can't get pregnant from your stomach. Brain. Comma ho ho hoa. Let's walk that back buddy, we got ourselves an opportunity here. Mouth. Comma actually yes. You can. I live near a giant wind farm in one of the hottest and most windy places in America. While working as a poolside server at a prestigious hotel on a windy day, I had a guest that kept asking why all the fans were on. As there were no fans nearby, I got confused and asked them what fans. They responded with the big ones you see on your way into the valley. If you turned them off it wouldn't be so windy. Maybe those windmills will keep them cool. Windmills do not work that way. On the subject of wars and stuff, girl, I knew at the time, if I had my own country, I'd not have armies and instead set rules that the other countries have to respect, like not invading me. Yes, my reply at the time was, and how do you enforce those rules? I wouldn't have to force them, they're rules. But then what would keep the countries from just not respecting those rules? They're rules. I don't see what you're trying to say. I haven't seen her in years. I hope she's okay. Yeah sure, you may be able to quote facts and figures in your argument and, like, disprove what I'm saying, but it isn't gonna change my mind. This isn't dumb. This is smart. Shuts them up every time. Assuming, of course, that the winner of the argument is the person who has the last word. Heard on the bus earlier this week. Yeah, did you know there are 4 times as many women on the earth as there are men? Like, there's 4 women for every man? That's why guys try to have sex with everything. They need to spread their seed, and there's a lot of females to do it with. It's just biology. Men needing to, you know, do it with lots of chicks. And there's just too many women. Anyway, that's why the world is dying out, guys. Cause there's too many women, and men are told they're bad if they want to sleep with a bunch of girls, even though that's nature. This same genius was also explaining how to do H and still get away with donating plasma. The people he was talking to just ate it all up like it was the gospel. Ugh. I overheard someone talking to an IT staff member and said the following. Dumbass, but the computer restarts much faster when I push the power button on the screen. IT, but that just shuts off the screen. Duh, no it doesn't, it reboots my computer super fast. You don't know much about computers if you never knew that before. IT, I'm telling you it just turns off the screen. Duh, watch, I push the button, click, and when I push it again, click, the computer is now rebooted. Look, it even says that Dell thing. IT, look, I'm telling you it just shuts off the screen, it does not reboot the PC. Duh, look, I think I know computer better than you. I had the first iPad and I know a thing or two about computers. I think this one irritates me the most. Pele. Freaking Pele. I once had this conversation with a random customer when she saw the Pele cardboard cutout. Her. Who's that? Me. It's Pele. Her. Who's that? Me. He is a famous Brazilian soccer player. He's probably one of the best soccer player ever. Her. Where's he from? Me. I mean, I just told you. He's from Brazil. Her. No. But is he from Pele? Me. What? Her. Is he from Pele? Me. Is Pele from Pele? Her. Yes. Me. No. Pele is the person. And he's from the country of Brazil. Her. Okay, yeah. But is Brazil in Pele? Me. Brazil. Number. Her. Okay. Bye. And then she just kind of wandered outside and into her car. Eventually she figured out where to put the keys and drove away. I had someone in a history class once tell me that an aircraft carrier couldn't fit into the Mediterranean because the carrier was too big. I'm not sure if this is true, but it's conceivable that the aircraft carrier was as too big to fit through the Suez Canal and hence too big to fit into the Mediterranean. I mean, unless they went to Gibraltar. My brother's GF. I don't really like Obama. He's not even American. He's from Muslim. Me. I'm pretty sure he was born in Hawaii. From Muslim? What the crap? Row. Double quote. GF. Hawaii whatever. Still doesn't make him an American. I couldn't even handle continuing the conversation. I just walked away and texted my brother, please don't marry her. Is the paper expired? Said by my boss about the printer paper when the printer was acting up. That anal sex causes HIV AIDS. That is, that if two HIV negative people have anal sex, they can become HIV positive as a consequence of performing this act. I was taught this in high school in Scotland, a Catholic high school albeit. He's right. The Japanese don't believe in Jesus. That's why God sent them to an earthquake. So many things about that sentence make me wish you would decide not to procreate. Overheard this from some teenage girls at a hotel. The fitness center says 24 hours, that means it's open all the time. Well, actually there are only 23 hours and 56 minutes in a day. I've counted. So it's open more than all the time. WTF does more than all the time mean? I can't comprehend it. If we were just a few kilometers closer to the sun, we'd all be fried to death. I've always wondered why I burn to death whenever I go on top of a building. I had a high school teacher tell me that getting vaccines was a bad idea because it was just a doctor's attempt at making you get sick more so that they could make more money. At a previous company where I worked, two co-workers were arguing over code. I tried to figure out what's going on, and the guy explained that his code was definitely right, and hers, the other co-worker, implemented a function wrong. I asked to check her code in case he was correct, and he became very defensive, claiming it's impossible for her to be right because he was right, because God made man so man can never be wrong. So if a woman disagrees with a man, she is always wrong. That escalated quickly. I was at a 5-year-old's birthday party that my son was invited to. The stupidity was not one of the kids. The father of the birthday boy was trying, with much difficulty, to assemble a small plastic toy that the kid had just opened. He looked at me and said, "This is just Chinese payback for Pearl Harbor." I just looked at him like, "You want to take that one back? Maybe correct the two things you got wrong." Nope. He just stood there smiling. Smiling. Because he was stupid. He was talking about the movie and was thus correct. Yesterday a girl texted me asking for help with a project on Asia and hit me with this gem like, is Russia like Asia or is Russia like China? I still have no idea what she was trying to say. Worked in a coffee shop a few years back. Snobby hipster girl with her accessory gay friend walk in. Cappuccino. Make it dry. Do you know what dry is? My co-worker taking the order was new and I go ahead and say to the customer, "Sure. Any specific milk preferences?" Girl. I said dry. "You don't know what that means?" Me. "Yes. I know what dry means. Do you have a milk preference?" Girl. "Dry means all foam they snicker to each other." Me. "Did you not know that foam is made from milk?" Girl. Startled and furious, "Just make me a dry cappuccino." I made her a decaf dry cappuccino with half and half. By the way, if you're dong to your barista, you'll probably get decaf. That's actually impressive. We had a regular where I worked who was a total B and always asked for an extra dry cappuccino made with coffee cream, which is freaking impossible and wastes so much cream. Cream is heavy and it doesn't foam the same way milk does. She insisted on a light as air cappuccino made from heavy cream. What? Why are there tests to see who a baby's father, but no one ever tests to see who is the mother? Somebody skipped a couple days of high school biology. That's actually not stupid. The number of people who bring home the wrong child isn't insignificant, especially in the past. My ex informed me that she was not allowed to date me because her parents said we had a dream and God told us you should not go out with this guy. I think God would have better things to do with his time than tell people to sabotage other people's relationships. Sounds like God was watching your back to me. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.